Hey, what's going on? It is your girl T, and I'm obviously feeling myself the way I'm smiling. You see the cheeks? I'm obviously feeling myself. But I am back with another YouTube video, and oh, I did it again. I was looking at the wrong camera. Hey, camera, I was looking at the wrong spot. Hey, it's your girl T, and I am back with another YouTube video. I am feeling myself in this look and this bucket hat. It's my boyfriend's, but it just looks cute on me. Looks nicer on him though. But I am back with another YouTube video, and I am so excited to be talking about this because I mentioned it in my last video that I was going to be talking about this topic at some point. So I'm going to be doing it for this week's piece of content, which is how to build a routine. Round of applause, round of applause. Yes, yes, yes. How to build a routine, how to be consistent, how to be organized, how to have clear space, clear mind so you can be productive in everything and anything that you do. I'm going to give you a 4-step process, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is going to break down exactly what you need to do on how to create your routine from the beginning all the way to the end, and honestly just give you the comfort that you require to be proactive in your day. The reason I'm giving you guys this 4-step process is because I've actually spoken to quite a bit of people who've brought up not being consistent with their routine or not knowing how to build a routine. And I remember being in that same seat. I had no freaking clue, honestly, on how to build a successful routine. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to put in. I didn't know what was going to be the most effective in my day. How, like, you know, it kind of seemed jumbled, and I felt like I was kind of all over the place. So I had to take a step back and restart the whole process of building my routine, and it took a long time. I'm not even gonna lie, it took some years to figure out how to build a proper routine. But now I feel like I got the formula, I got the secret sauce, and I want to give it to you guys. Without talking too much, let's get into it because I'm a chatterbox. So first things first is you are going to create a quadrant. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a quadrant. If you are, say, for example, only focusing on 2 major things in your life, then you just create 2 squares. You create a box, split it down the middle. If, say, for example, you're focusing on 3 major things in your life, then you create a triangle. Now, this quadrant is specifically and only for the things that you are working towards, so your major goals. So I'm gonna give you mine as an example. In my quadrant, I have financial literacy, self-care, my TDC, and TDC training. As you can see in my quadrant, I put the things that are the most important to me and the things that I'm going to be scaling in the next couple years. That is going to be primarily where my focus is going to lie. So as you can see in one of my boxes, I have financial literacy. Now that to me is very important. I consistently am a student to growing my financial knowledge. There are many things that I want to get into later on in my life in investments when it comes to stocks and real estate. So I just want to continuously grow my knowledge in the financial literacy market. So that is just an ongoing process. Your quadrant is specifically for your major long-term goals. Okay, so nothing short-term. We're going to get into that later, but these are your major long-term goals that you are working on weekly to obtain to grow or to get closer to, whatever that may be. Another one is TDC training. As you know, TDC training, I am a fitness, wellness, and nutrition coach, and that is something that I'm obsessed with and I want to scale. So that is another long-term major goal. We have my TDC, and then we have self-work. Self-work, I want to just say, if regardless of what your priorities are, you need to have a self-work section on your long-term goal. We do not prioritize ourselves enough. Like, that's the realest thing I can tell you. We do not prioritize ourselves enough. We take our body, our vessel for granted, and think that if we just keep on producing in all these other lanes, that our body's just going to keep up with us. And unfortunately, that's just not the case. So definitely make sure self-work is a section in your priority box. Your priority quadrant, triangle, rectangle, whatever it looks like. Okay, second on the list is now prioritizing your list. So prioritizing your list is now going deeper. So I kind of explained it earlier when I was elaborating on what I want to do in my quadrant. Specifically, prioritizing your list is going into detail on what it is that you want to accomplish within your within this long-term goal. So for TDC training, I want to build a company, I want to hire other trainers, I want to build apps, and so on and so forth. I'm not gonna give you all my juice, but so on and so forth. And so I'm gonna go into that box and go into detail on exactly what it is that I want to be working on, and getting a more narrow and getting a more closer look at what it is that I'm trying to do. And I'm going to do that in all of the boxes. So for self-work, for example, self-work is personal development, monthly pampering myself, taking care of my health, taking care of my nutrition. Those are all things that are in my self-work quadrant. Literacy, I kind of mentioned it earlier. I want to get into real estate, invest more into stocks, invest more into crypto and in the foreign exchange market. So again, that's kind of just breaking down exactly what it is that I want to be doing per quadrant. So you should be doing the same exact thing. So whatever it is that you want to be doing, make sure you go into detail, like, and really think about it. I like this step because it does something that a cool camera angle does, where it kind of gives you a closer look but a large span of what it is that you're seeing. So I'm getting a closer look at I'm getting closer into detail into what it is that I want to accomplish for my goals, but I'm getting a larger span because there are so many things that I want to accomplish for that goal. So it just helps my mind organize everything better. So when you're done writing out your priority list in each quadrant, I would go back over your list and rewrite them in ascending order from things that you can accomplish now versus things that are going to happen in the future. So not only are you getting a narrow but wider perspective of all the things that you want to get done for your goals, but you're also being logical and realistic, and having a clear map, blueprint, we'll say, towards obtaining your future goals, because you know what you're working towards. Okay, third thing on the list is, my God, gonna be probably the most challenging thing in this whole process, which is finding the tracking system that is going to be the best fit for you. Now, when I say tracking system, I mean the thing that you're gonna have on you at all times to keep track of your routine from morning to night, what it is that I'm going to be doing to get me closer to my goals. From waking up in the morning, meditating, drinking coffee, doing my skincare routine, getting dressed, going outside, hitting a workout, coming back inside, going on my meeting, like whatever it is that you require to keep track of all of those things, you have to make sure you have it on you 24/7. So in my journey, I cannot tell you how many different tracking systems I tried. Now, to kind of give you a backstory, I love handwriting. I love handwriting stuff. I'm just old school, I guess, when it comes to that. And at the time, it was fine. I never really complained about it. It actually worked for me, but I did notice some areas in handwriting everything that was kind of annoying. For example, damaging your notebook, water damage, stuff like that. I'm OCD, so when a page rips, that kind of like drives me crazy. That actually really drives me crazy. And it just slowly became something that just wasn't efficient enough for me. So I started transferring all of my notebooks, and literally I have notebooks for everything. Like, I have a notebook for scriptures, I have graph paper that I doodle on or that I write random notes on. I have books specifically for different projects, and so I still technically use my journals, and I still keep them with me for different aspects of my life, but I no longer use it for keeping track of my day. So the tracking systems, plural, that I use is the Notes app on iPhone. I don't know how the Android devices, I'm not sure how the Android devices you have a Notes app or how they use it, but I personally like using the already installed Notes app on iPhone's platform, and I've shown it many times on my other videos, but I'm going to show you like in detail how I go through it. So first things first is I make my to-do list, then I section off all the areas of priorities again that I'm going to be focusing on. So usually it's like TDC training, my TDC other. So once all my sections are created, now I go into each section in detail, putting in all the things that I should be working on today. following that, so then I scroll and then I create a little section of my own like little motivational advice that I get to look at anytime I'm going through my to-do list. It keeps me accountable, it keeps me calm, it kind of just keeps me grounded in whatever I'm doing, because I know that I'm an overworker. I know that sometimes I can get super anxious and impatient with myself, so I just write little notes to keep me grounded and to bring me back in line, bring me back into the lane that I need to be in. Last thing is I now organize everything from morning to evening, what it is that I'm doing, when I'm doing it in my daily routine. Having that as a tracking system really works for me. The second tracking system that I use is reminders notes. That's kind of self-explanatory. I use it to remind myself of all the things that I need to get done. Not specifically for my day, but just things that I know I need to get done within a month span, 2 month span. And after that, I use my calendar. I don't really use my iPhone calendar as much as I use my Google Calendar and my Outlook calendar, because everything gets synced to there, from meetings to Zoom calls, so on and so forth. And last but not least is keeping track of your routine. The reason why it's so important to know what platform you're going to be using to keep track of your routine is because step number 4 is literally just keeping track. Now just going along and following it as you go. So periodically throughout your day, you should be checking your routine. I check my reminders app like once every 2 weeks. My Google Calendar, all my calendars are synced to my phone, so anything that's coming up gets sent to my phone as a reminder the day before and the day of. But I check my notes app, I don't even know, probably like 7 times a day, 10 times a day, because I always want to make sure that I'm on top of my games. And that's why I like my notes app, because I can actually go in there and check off what it is that I got done for my day. And once I check it off, it gets moved to the bottom. So now I know, okay, boom, this is the next thing that I need to be working on. So that is it, guys. Those were the 4 tips that I use to create my routine, that I still use to this very day. It has helped completely change my life for the better, and I'm so grateful that I was able to learn it, and now I'm happy that I'm able to share it with you guys, so that way you can become a lot more self-efficient and productive in your day. I hope you enjoy my video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the section. Like I said earlier, I want to know if you use it or not, if you've used something like this, or what platforms do you use to keep yourself accountable. I want to know the whole tea. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to talk to you again. Later.